The old house stood on a hill overlooking the town, a skeletal silhouette against the bruised twilight sky. Locals whispered it was built on cursed ground, a place where the veil between worlds thinned and things that shouldn't be could be. I, of course, was a skeptic, a hardened rationalist who scoffed at ghost stories. That is, until I inherited it. The first few nights were uneventful, filled with the musty smell of neglect and the creaks of an ancient structure settling. Then the whispers started. Not audible words, but a low hum that vibrated in my bones, a psychic static that gnawed at the edges of my sanity. I'd wake in a cold sweat, convinced I wasn't alone, the darkness in my room feeling thick and predatory. One night, the whispers coalesced. They formed a single guttural sound, a name I didn't recognize, but felt I knew in the deepest, most primal part of my being. It was a name that clawed its way out of the shadows, promising oblivion. I threw on clothes, fumbling in the dark, my heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I had to get out, away from that house, away from that name. I burst out the front door, the night air chilling my skin. The path leading down the hill was shrouded in an unnerving silence, the usual chirping of crickets absent. Every rustle of leaves, every distant hoot of an owl, sent jolts of pure terror through me. I ran, my breath ragged, the whispers chasing me, growing louder, more insistent, weaving themselves into a symphony of dread. As I reached the edge of the woods, a figure emerged from the gloom. Tall, impossibly thin, with eyes that glowed with an unholy crimson light. It didn't move, but I felt its gaze pierce through me, a weight crushing my very soul. I stumbled backward, my legs threatening to give out. "You cannot escape," a voice rasped, not from its lips, but from the very air around me, laced with the ancient hunger I had heard in the whispers. "It calls to you. It is asterisk you now." Panic gave way to a chilling realization. The house wasn't just a place, it was a conduit. And whatever resided within, whatever had been whispering my name, had found its anchor in me. I was no longer running from a ghost. I was running from a part of myself that had been awakened, a demonic echo that had taken root. I turned and ran deeper into the woods, the crimson eyes fixed on my retreating form. The whispers intensified, no longer just a sound, but a physical sensation, like tendrils of ice slithering under my skin. I could feel it, the ancient evil, its tendrils reaching out, pulling me back towards the house on the hill, towards the darkness that now claimed me. The escape was no longer about leaving the house. It was about escaping the entity that had become my shadow, my curse, my new, terrifying identity. Hello, viewers. This is Aqeela, and you've just stumbled into the Aqeela Files. Did that story send a shiver down your spine? Good. Because the real horror isn't always in the shadows. Sometimes it's the one staring back at you from the mirror. If you think you're safe, think again. Subscribe now, and let's see what other darkness we can uncover together. But be warned, some doors, once opened, can never be closed.